pooper.
He actually touched on what I was gonna ask women in today's society.
Okay.
You know, the modern day woman, you know,
shit.
we're so, you know, rough and tough and stuff. What are like the top check boxes that men are looking for to complete, you know, I guess a man's life? I guess he said loyalty and, you know, obedience and all that. Like, he kind of just already touched on it though. I was gonna ask that. What are some of those check boxes men are looking for in today's society with modern women?
In today's society with modern women, the most important thing you can possibly find is loyalty, because most are not loyal. And when I say loyal, I don't mean not cheat. I mean actually stick with your man through something. And I also mean, and man, it's getting late. But I also mean stick with your man.
I think the ladies want to hear it, man. Ladies, do you want to hear it?
Of course.
No, okay. So even if your man hits the club and he messes around with some other chick or whatever, he's your man. You can't leave the man you love.
Absolutely not.
You cannot leave the man you love. If you're in love with a man and he's your man and he takes care of you and you truly love him, you can't be leaving him for any reason, especially not some little bit of pussy on the side who gives a fuck. That's not even big enough reason. It's not important.
But he doesn't love
Marine,
you.
I'll give you a
if he has
chance.
all the
Ladies,
pussy.
because I already know he about to trigger the fuck out of all of you. So let him finish his point, and then I'll go one by one and let you guys be able to, you know, challenge his view. You know, I just want to be able to give everybody a shot here. Let's not talk over each other. Go ahead, Andrew. Sorry.
True loyalty from a female is the fact that if he provides for you and he protects you and you feel like you're in love with him, you basically should have no reason to ever leave that man. You shouldn't be sleeping with a bunch of men anyway. You should find a man you love and you should be with him forever. You have no reason to be sleeping with man after man after man. That's bad for you. It's no good for you. It's no good for your state of mind. So loyalty is the most important thing. That's the first thing that a man's looking for. And the second thing is looking for obedience and subservience. Most men live difficult lives. If your man doesn't live a difficult life, you shouldn't be with him. If you're with a man who does not live a difficult life, then he's not a man of value and you shouldn't be with him. If your man's just playing video games, smoking weeds, why are you there? Right? But if you're a man who's actually living a difficult life out there trying to get rich, trying to do all this, you don't have any idea the levels of stress he's already under. He does not need more at home. He wants peace and quiet at home. So you need to find a man who's already going through enough difficulty that you can reward him with the peace and quiet he requires at home. You need to be loyal to him. I'm not saying let him abuse your loyalty, but you need to say to him and say, look, I'm never, ever, ever going to leave you unless you push me to a point where I really feel like I have to leave. Make him understand that you're so loyal that you're near impossible to replace, especially in this culture where every other girl he's going to get with is just going to run out there and be a hoe. If you can be loyal to him and you can give him some peace and quiet and show some subservience, if you can show him some respect in his household, men like to feel respected. We work extremely hard to feel respected. We go out here and work and make money to try and feel respected. There's CEOs who've given up their lives to work some shit job just so they get to wear a suit in a particular office to feel respected. Men who get in the cage 87 times to feel respected. Men who go to war and go risk getting shot at with machine guns to feel respected. You think we're going to go through all this crap to feel respected and come home and be disrespected in our own house? No. Make him feel respected. Be loyal to him. Show some subservience. And boom. That's all we're looking for.
Okay.
Nice and easy.
Now, okay, I know you got something to say. You got something to say. We'll go here, and then you could go after. Go ahead.
I don't have nothing to say.
What the? You were about to cut him off, and I stopped you.
Okay,
Man.
anyway, so
No, not you. Her.
I
Cuba.
have-
Say it to the mic.
Okay, so why do you feel like
March.
that subservience is like how you are respected? Why does a woman have to be subservient for you to be respected?
Firstly, I don't feel like I know. That's the first thing. Second thing,
why do you know?
I know. I'll tell you why I know. Because it's completely natural for a female when she respects a man and trusts a man to act in a subservient manner. If a woman truly loves a man and she respects him and trusts him, even down to the fact of where you eat dinner, you want him to choose. There's no such thing as a woman truly respecting a man and loving a man and wanting to be in charge of him. That's not real. When you see a woman who's trying to be in charge of her man, she's lost respect for him. She may feel that he hasn't got his life in order, or needs controlling, or needs mothering, etc., etc. If a chick gets with me and she realizes all the amazing things I've done by myself, all my accolades, all my achievements, everything I've done completely by myself, she's not going to be sitting there trying to tell me how to live my life. Why would she? She's not qualified. Women say all the time, I want a man who's dominant, in charge, who leads, who I could trust, who's going to guide us, etc., etc. That's what women are looking for, and that's based on respect. You're not going to listen to a man you don't respect. So, of course, showing respect is an act of subservience. It's the exact same thing. They're the exact same thing. The same reason you respect the people on the ship, respect the captain by being subservient. We show respect to the captain. The captain is in charge of the ship, and we obey our commands, and that's how the ship functions. If the captain said X, Y, Z, and everybody on board said, well, I don't know if I should listen, then you're going to lose. The whole ship's not going to function. Subservience in and of itself is an act of respect. That's what it is. I will only listen to somebody I respect. I won't listen to anybody else. If my kickboxing coach told him what to do, I respected him. I would listen to him, right? So you're trying to separate something. They're literally the same thing. Subservience and respect are linked.
Okay, and I agree with that. So you're saying that men can be subservient to women too?
I'm saying that a man can be subservient to a woman, but I'm saying that that's not a healthy way for a relationship to function.
And why is that?
Oh man! All right, I feel like I've said this stuff before. I don't know if anyone's watching Fresh and Fit. And
It's a new panel of girls, so
I want to add something too.
Sure.
I don't know if it's just in my culture, but like my family, especially like the women run our family. Like my mom runs this family, and we respect
Cuban?
everybody and their opinion.
Are you Cuban?
Where you from?
Yes, I'm Cuban.
That's why.
No.
Exactly.
No,
So,
but I'm not saying women.
all right, but can I finish?
Sure.
Okay, thank you.
No, sure. No, finish. No problem.
That the women and everybody respects their opinion. We take everybody's opinion into account. It's just my mom was the first one to come here in this country, so everybody respects her and her opinion because she knows the most about how to, like go along in this country and do things right.
I didn't say women can't have an opinion. I didn't.
No,
say that.
and I didn't say that either. But like you're saying that men are the first ones to have the opinion and run shit. But that's not true. Women can run shit too and still have the respect for men.
I'm saying that in the happiest relationships on the planet, the man is in charge. I'm saying that in
That's false.
That's not false. I'm saying in most situations where a woman is in charge of her man, sooner or later she's going to leave his ass because she gets tired of him. I'm saying that
my
women,
parents are both happily together, and my
an
mom
exception
runs
does
him.
not disprove the rule. Even if what you're saying is true, it's an exception, and an exception does not disprove the rule. The rule is as follows: the happiest relationships on earth are with a man who is in charge.
Who makes the rule?
The rule is made by biology. That's who makes the rule. The rule is made by biological triggers.
And biology is a theory.
No, biology is not a theory.
Yes, it is. It is a theory. You cannot tell me it's not.
We have evolved in a very particular manner,
God.
and we've evolved in a manner in which women needed men for physical protection, and because you needed men for physical protection. I know you know karate, blah blah blah, but most of the women out here evolved needing men for physical protection, and they afforded that. They were given that by being subservient to said man. They'd come along and they needed a man to protect them, or they needed a tribe to protect them, and they'd obey that man. You can't go up to a man and say, "I'm not going to obey you. I'm your boss. Fucking protect me." That's not real, right? This is all biology. This is all biology. This is all evolutionary. This is the way that humans have evolved across hundreds of thousands of years. You're sitting here saying things because it's just new thinking. It's not real. All the things you're saying are just garbage. Your parents, as fantastic as they may be as individuals, are not the rule for the broader section of society.
And I agree with that too. But biology, you can't say that biology is not a theory.
biology is a fact.
Yeah.
If you do not drink water,
All right.
you will die.
Okay, but y'all don't understand.
If you don't eat food for a period of time, you will die.
It's got science.
That is biology.
All right, but everything in
Science.
science is just a theory. Nothing is 100% correct. Nothing is 100% proven.
Why do you think men have been in charge of society?
And
always?
I understand that because
No, I'm
that's what
asking.
we have studied from biology.
I'm asking, why do you think men have always been in charge of societies on average?
And because we've studied biology and the male species has been dominant over the female.
Why?
And I understand that.
Why?
Because biologically, like, as I said before, that they are stronger and whatever. Like,
So biology's real now.
no, yeah, I never said that biology was incorrect, but it's also a theory. Nothing's 100% correct, and things can change over time.
Anyway, the point I'm trying to make here is that I literally don't know how to compete with what you're saying because it doesn't make enough sense for me to compete with.
All right.
The point I'm trying to make here is that on average, for a relationship to be happy, and I think most of the women on this panel would agree with me, the man has to be dominant and to some degree in charge. The woman gets to feel looked after and cared for and protected. That is the normal relationship. There's no such thing as 50-50 in life. There always has to be some degree of dominance. And in most experiences, maybe your parents are different, wherever the woman achieves dominance, the woman loses respect for the man and the relationship falls apart thereafter. That's the truth.
I'll make this simple.
I don't agree with that, but that's fine.
Okay, well, hold on.
That's fine.
I will just say this. You don't have to agree with it, but it's the truth. The fact is this. Since the beginning of time, men have led, women have followed. There's not one single matriarchy that has stood the test of time. They've been wiped out by men all this time. The only reason women are able to be in a position that they're in, to say things like this that are ridiculous and ludicrous, to be honest with you, are because men allowed you to do so. The reality is, men have privileges and accesses and everything else like that because men allowed it, which is great. I'm not here for saying, oh, don't give them rights. I'm not saying that. But for us to sit here and say, oh, a woman can lead. No, they cannot. And as a matter of fact, if I took 100 women, 95 of them are going to say, I want my man to be the leader. They're not going to want to assume that leadership. And as a matter of fact, if you put a woman in a leadership role, 9 out of 10 times, she's going to be repulsed by that man because he can't do his only duty, which is to what? lead, provide, and protect. That's a man's job. Okay. Now, you might have an exception to the rule. Your mom might be dominant. Your dad is a little bit more submissive. The family works. Excellent. But that structure is not going to work for most situations. That's effectively taking a round peg, putting it into a square hole, and hoping it works. Again, I'm not saying women can't do what men can do. You guys can absolutely do it, but you can't do it at the same level we do. If you were the ruler of a country, you had 20,000 men and 20,000 women, and you had to choose who you were going to send to war, and the livelihood of your country was dependent upon this war, who would you send?
Obviously the men.
Okay.
And I've already agreed to the fact that men are stronger than women.
Okay, because that's a biological fact. Physically, it's a biological fact. They are stronger.
Yes.
Okay, that's indisputable. We have more bone density. We're stronger than you guys.
Yes.
We're taller than you guys.
I agree.
We have more
I
testosterone.
agree.
Indisputable.
Completely agree.
Biology is not a theory. It's a fact. Scientific fact. Okay?
Science is a theory just like religion, just like any other belief.
Okay. Anyway, continuing on in reality. So that you would pick the men. Your theory is women can do what men can do. I agree. They can. But they can't do it at the same level and at the same consistency, and more importantly, at the same level of competence. The men that you send in to fight are going to win that war and have a higher probability of winning. The women, they can go in and fight, but there's a higher likelihood of failure.
Yeah, that's true.
And
So
sorry,
that is why that's what he's trying to explain, is that men naturally are leaders, women are naturally followers. Your parents' relationship is an exception to the rule, but that does not make the rule.
I agree with that. I have an example for you to assess.
Sure.
So you said that women can't lead, correct?
On a balance of probabilities, most women cannot lead men in a relationship.
So during this pandemic, the first country to completely eradicate COVID was New Zealand. And who is the leader of New Zealand?
Oh my God.
A woman.
You triggered my trap card.
Who wants to take this one?
She is a female,
Bro,
and she
I
completely.
might have to take
I was
this
just
one.
going to continue on what we were saying.
I'm gonna have to
I
take
wasn't
this
going to
one.
talk about COVID. I was just going to say.
I promise, Miss Marine, you will definitely get your chance to challenge the view. We just got to
It's really
debunk this, and then we got you.
No, I'm good. Y'all can continue then. Like
No. We are not gonna. We will continue. Like, we're not gonna sit here and just dismiss you. Be like, no, fuck you. We'll explain, and if you choose, to
can I
accept it or not.
I put in my 2 cents about Cuban girls.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I was, highly high, born and raised. Well, not born and raised, but I went under the school and everything. Cuban girls are very submissive to masculine guys and
Who?
highly high.
Okay.
Long story short, I don't know what country you're from. I mean, Cuban girls
I'm
are,
Cuban.
yeah,
fully.
but I'm saying highly. It's always a good thing. So go ahead.
All right, Andrew, go ahead. New Zealand.
Man, it's actually amazing because there's so many different tangents on which she's incorrect. It's okay. So her name is Jessica Ardern, I think is her name, the leader of New Zealand. First things first, she's a new world order shill who's genuinely evil on nearly every single metric. She's not a good person.
I never
right?
said that.
Okay,
either.
no, but I'm telling you, you're saying
Okay.
she's eradicated COVID. That's the first fault. That's a fallacy. She's not eradicating anything. Second thing, she locked everyone in their houses for
There
2
you go.
solid years under a new world order, which you don't even understand how the world actually functions, because the leaders of Earth are not the leaders of anything, and there's people above them who control the money in banks who bribed her to control her population to the point where more people died of missed doctor's appointments than they ever died of fucking COVID. So that female was a murderer. She was not a good person. So you're going to sit here and say she's been a fantastic leader. She's been the absolute opposite.
I never
So
said that either.
Oh, yes, you did. You said she was the first country to eradicate COVID. Fallacy. It was done because of a female leadership. More fallacy. It wasn't even a female leadership. She's just such a psychopathic individual that she could literally obey New World Order to the point where people were getting decimated in real time. You don't understand Earth.
That's wrong
Third,
on my part. I was misinformed.
Third, yeah, absolutely misinformed. Third,
It's fine.
the rule we're making, the reason you are upset and the reason you are arguing is not because you disagree with what we're saying. It's because you're triggered and you think we are saying women have no value. Absolutely incorrect. Female life is more valuable than male life.
That's
I
true.
will tell you right now, us
You
men are,
never said that
if
until
someone
now.
comes in this door with a gun, we are prepared to die to protect you. We would die on the Titanic so the women could live. If we talk about 5 men dying in a car crash, no big deal. If you talk about 5 women dying in a car crash, it's a big deal. Female life is super valuable, and you are super valuable members of society, and you have something very, very important to do. You are so important and so valuable that men will lead, protect, and care and provide for you. You're so important that we'll go put ourselves on the line and take all the responsibility of ensuring your safety. When we say we are leading, we are not I'm not trying to degrade females. I know you get triggered instantly because you live in a Western society where you feel like that's an insult. We're not trying to insult you. We're saying that it's a man's job to lead. It is a man's job to lead a relationship because it's his job to protect and provide. He can't lead if he isn't protect. He can't protect and provide if he isn't leading. You understand? So you're saying that your parents are different, fine, whatever. On average, a woman wants a man who could take care of her, provide safety, provide stability. He cannot do those things if she disobeys him. How can he do those things if she's disobeying everything he says? We just talked about the ship. If the captain of the ship gives orders and no one listens, how can the ship be successful? The captain talks, everyone else obeys. That's why the captain is responsible for the ship. The man is responsible for the house. That's why he is in charge. That's why he should be listened to. Exceptions do not disprove the rule. Females are not designed for leadership, and that is not an insult to you. You have a far more important purpose on the planet. You procreate, you create life. It's a beautiful thing. You have far more important things to do than be out here carrying garbage. That's why men do it. We carry the garbage so we can make money so you can stay home and have fucking kids. Jessica Arden's also pure evil. So don't talk about her again because she's negative in every single respect. If you have 10 hours, I can sit and explain to you how the world actually functions and how all the female leaders during this imaginary pandemic the things that the female leaders have done during this imaginary pandemic are borderline criminal. Not borderline, it's literally criminal. Only men had enough honor to stand up to the New World Order shill and at least try and give people some freedom left. The women leaders in Finland and New Zealand and these countries, Australia, you people have been locked in their homes, bro, for 2 years. 2 years in their house. You think it's a good leader? No, she's just obeying someone else above her. Obeying.
They can only leave to get groceries, bro. Like, yo,
crazy.
We got a lot of Australian supporters, guys from New Zealand, etc. These countries, man, it is fucked. It is fucked.
They're really down under.
Yeah, bro. They're down bad, bro. And here's the thing: we got guys from Australia and New Zealand that talk to us all the time, bro. They can only travel like maybe the equivalent in U.S. miles, like 1 or 2 miles, to go to the grocery store, get the food, and they have to come back
for years.
For years, guys.
For years, and that's because the female leadership of these countries are actually, do you know what they're doing? They're actually being led. You talked about her being a leader. No, she's subservient. She's just subservient to people you don't know exist. And she's ultra subservient to the point where a man will still resist to some degree, or she'll just going to sit over, bend over and agree. And that's what this kind of crap's happening all around the world. The countries that are worst affected are not the countries with the worst COVID cases, are the countries that have female leadership. The female leadership in times of crisis is the worst thing that could possibly happen in this situation. Female leadership in crisis is detrimental to the overall populace. I'll tell you this, if all of us were right now on a plane and that plane crashed and we're all surviving, we're in a survival setting, right? We need to find food, shelter, we need a fire, we need to survive. Who do you think you're going to put in charge? Us boys? Or you girls going to say, I'm in charge of everything? No, you're going to say, okay, we need everything. Boys, help. Well, you're going to put us in charge. And if you didn't, we'd all die. That's the truth.
And also, just to add in, and then
men are hunter gatherers.
Yeah, and just to add into that real quick, because that was actually demonstrated. Then we're going to move to Miss Marine. They actually did this. They put men and women on a separate island, right? Bear Grylls. Shout out to Think Before You Sleep. He broke this down beautifully. The women and the men were separated on 2 different islands. The women almost died within 3 days. They couldn't clean the water. They couldn't hunt. They couldn't build shelter. They couldn't make fire. The men, however, had built shelter. They had some food because they quickly delegated authority, found a hierarchy. You know, hey, this is what we got to do. The women, on the other hand, were trying to make pets of the animals. They didn't want to kill them. They took a vote. Hey, should we kill this animal and eat it? No, that's fucked up. Oh, they took a vote and they couldn't clean the water. And, you know, there was too much of this communitarianism. You know, I'm not trying to, I don't want to go too deep in it because I know where we're going here with Andrew, but if you leave women to their own devices, they tend to be more communitarian. Hey, you get one, you get one, you get one, you get one. Guys are like, hey, you did the best, motherfucker. We give you the most, and then you get the second most, whatever. Men typically tend to compete. Women tend to, hey, let's spread things out evenly. If you give them their own, leave them to their own devices. So it's been proven on reality TV that, you know, even women put in a life or death situation of survival don't have the tools to do it. You know what I'm saying? It's very difficult. And they took average guys and average women. And the women were like, fuck, man. They almost died. The crew had to come in and rescue them multiple times during the filming of the show. So
what say you now, Miss Cuban?
How many females were on that show?
I had heard.
Well, there was I don't know exactly how many contestants, but it was somewhere between 10 to 20 women and then 10 to 20 men, separate islands, and they gave them the same resources.
All I'm gonna say is that you can't base the female species or just the female population based on those 20 people.
We're not saying,
but they were average women from all different walks of life, and then they took average men from all different walks of life. So it's an excellent aggregate of like the normal of normal people is what I'm trying to say.
Let's ask the girls. Do you want a man to be in charge in the relationship?
Okay, I've been trying to talk this whole time.
All right.
I'm
Go
23
ahead.
years old. I
shit.
was in a serious relationship with someone, and I was the one who bought the house.
And that's why
at
you're
20
and
years
that's
old.
why you're divorced.
Exactly.